Language can be defined as the method of human communication, either spoken or written, consisting of the use of words in a structured and conventional method. We explored the way that culture and context help shape the meaning of texts in forms of varying dialects.
In this TED Talk, 3 Ways to Speak English by Jamila Lyscott, we analyze and examine how our speech can affect our surroundings, as well as how much our surroundings affect the way we speak. This is in context with accentism and code switching.
To start off, we will be analyzing the TED Talk, accompanied by some clips of the actual talk for the reference. Then, go on to presenting our own speech that is based on the talk, and lastly, comparing the both.
Today, a baffled lady observed the shell where my soul dwells and announced that I'm articulate.
Jamila Lyscott's TED Talk, 3 Ways to Speak English, is a speech that is structured like a slam poem and a rap song. Slam poetry tends to lack typical features of poetry such as particular rhyme schemes and structures when it comes to stanza and line length. Slam poetry is meant to be performed, not read off a piece of paper, so that puts more of the focus on performance aspects such as dramatic pauses.
What sets rap music and common poetry apart, however, is that rap music lets the music's rhythm determine the placement of the words, while in poetry the placement of the words creates the rhythm.
One for each, home, school, and friends. I'm a trilingual orator. Sometimes I'm consistent with my language now and switch it up so I don't bore later. Sometimes I fight back 2 tongues while I use the other one in the classroom. And when I mistakenly mix them up, I feel crazy like I'm cooking in the bathroom.
Jamila's speech has no consistent rhythm, but if you listen carefully, it sounds like there should be a beat behind it. There's also no continuous rhyme scheme or structure, as her rhymes are inconsistent, and the line and stanza length isn't always the same.
Despite the speech not following common poetry structures, it still includes rhymes. Usually tail rhymes that are masculine, also known as single-syllable rhymes, assonance, also known as slant rhymes, and half rhymes. Her pronunciation and intonation, Jamila's that is, making words rhyme that written would not.
The most important part in why Jamila's speech is like a rap song and slam poetry combined is the performance. Other than the part that you heard earlier where she starts to rap, her pronunciation and intonation are key.
There's no misdirected intention, pay attention, cause I'm articulate.
In the TED Talk performed by Lyscott, she speaks about her experience growing up with African parents in the hood. She explains how this has affected her way of speaking and communicating.
It becomes clear to us that she is able to speak English in 3 different ways: Ebonics, Jamaican patois, and Standard English. To give an example, she says the following lines in her speech.
I can say what's good, what's agwan, and of course, hello.
She manages to tie this to the history of Black people in America and the current state of social racial affairs in her speech. Furthermore, she touches upon the topic of racial disparity by saying the line, "Stop calling my hair bad." This tells us that she is tired of the racist double standards, which suggests that a white woman's hair is better than that of a Black woman.
I'm so tired of the negative images that are driving my people mad. So unless you've seen it rob a bank, stop calling my hair bad. I'm so sick of this nonsensical racial disparity, so don't call it good unless your hair is known for donating to charity.
This brings us to the speech that we wrote inspired by and partially based on Jamila Lyscott's. When someone tells me they don't feel safe, I say I understand. I look them in the face. Because we live in this world and it isn't always an accepting one, because some people believe there's a right way things need to be done. So when someone slurs their words or says something that isn't proper in your head, I see that look on your face. I understand. I see the situation at hand. There's sometimes disgust, other times disappointment in the way that person speaks. But I think you should just ignore it, because I don't want that person to seek safety in a code switch, a change of words, a change in speech. Because honey, you must see, you're no better than him, her, them, or me. When it comes to the way we speak, bilingual, trilingual, a polyglot, we are all different. I understand we're all one big melting pot, but do you? Because language is power, and power comes in different forms, so don't let the power of the right to express themselves comfortably be torn from those who do. I see that look on your face, but I want you to take a moment and pace yourself. Take a breath and think. That person is a person, no matter how or what words they may use to speak, so treat them with respect, please. Take a moment and listen to what they're trying to say. Put those accented thoughts away and think. I understand.
The theme in both of the speeches is the same, it being that you shouldn't judge someone who speaks differently than you do. Our speech, however, focused on the part of getting the point across, which is educating an accentist person on why they should be accepting, while Jamila's is longer and is therefore able to include parts about the history and current affairs. Both speeches have an introduction, body, and conclusion.
The introduction to 3 Ways to Speak English is... Then comes the general body, which includes the history part mentioned, and finally, the conclusion. Our speech, I understand, comes from the perspective of someone who doesn't code switch, but sympathizes with those who do, while Jamila's speech is presented by a person who does code switch and speaks about her experience firsthand. Both speeches are meant for the same type of audiences, the objective always being to educate.
So, let's return to our topic. First, how does the way we speak affect our surroundings? We have come to a conclusion that people perceive us differently based on the way we look and the way that we communicate. This leads them to assume who we are and what we stand for.
Secondly, to what extent do our surroundings affect the way we speak? We are influenced by our surroundings to become the people we are, which influences the way we speak. But keep in mind that despite how you may speak or express yourself, we are all equal and of the same worth.